Oh my God, hello. This is StarHoes, an astrology podcast where we talk about the hell of living through another apocalypse and the transits coming next week that we are horny for. I am a host, Lana McKenna. I'm a Gem Sun, Pisces Moon, and Cap Rising.
My name's Matt Dragonstone. I'm another host. I have a Taurus Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Taurus Rising.
And my name's Larissa Kesby. I am the final host. I am a Pisces Sun, Leo Moon, and Libra Rising, and we are all so excited. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Oh my God. Welcome to our first ever episode of StarHoes. Hooray!
Hooray!
Woo!
We're so excited to be doing this podcast. Each week, we're going to be talking about our unique experiences living in a lockdown. We're all in Melbourne, in different parts of Melbourne, Victoria, and we all have our own unique experiences at the moment, like so many other Victorians, which is why we decided to get together and do a podcast. So before we get into, I guess, what's happening in our lives, we should do an intro. My name is Lana. I'm a Gemini Sun. I'm a Fish Moon and a Capricorn Rising. And my Saturn return really kicked my butt. I was diagnosed with lung cancer at the end of 2019, so like not even 10 months ago. And then in June of this year, it went into my brain, which is like unfortunately super common, not the end of the world. But I've had chemo, radiation, brain surgery, and I've done it all through a stage 4 lockdown, which is in itself insane. And I've spoken about this in detail, like on one of my girlfriend's podcasts, Ecolust podcast, available on Spotify. But I'll be sharing more of my day-to-day stuff on this podcast because I need to for my mental well-being, but also because I want to normalize cancer and share what I've learnt along the journey of being diagnosed and doing it all through COVID and just being open to, I guess, the journey along the way. And I'm hoping it can help people with or without cancer. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Outside of cancer, I'm a very cool gal. I'm into astrology. I live with my boyfriend on the north side of Melbourne. And we're just trying not to eat ourselves to death during this stage 4 lockdown over the next month.
My name's Matt Dragonstone. I'm a Taurus Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Taurus Rising. I'm a full-time astrologer and tarot reader. I'm a new dad to a beautiful little Pisces baby. I used to live in the city, but COVID forced my partner and I out of our rental house and into the country with my in-laws.
Yay.
And now I live on a permaculture farm in the Yarra Valley. It's idyllic. It's beautiful. It's just starting with spring at the moment. I'm looking out the window. I'm seeing birds twittering in the trees. I wanted to do this podcast because I needed an outlet and I wanted a project to work on with two of my closest friends. I love talking about astrology and spirituality, and I can think of nobody better to do this with than Lana and Larissa. So that's why I'm here.
Love that. Love that for you.
Thanks, Matt. So I am Larissa. I am Pisces Sun, Leo Moon, Libra Rising, and I've got a very different perspective again from Lana and Matt because I actually work in a very corporate environment at a big university. I've been working from home since March, and I am a contractor, so I can't even believe that I have managed to hold down a job during this crazy, crazy economic climate, feeling #blessed every day. I'm in a relatively new relationship. I bought my first apartment just before COVID hit in December last year, luckily. So I've been able to create my own little safe space where we can hide out, watch Star Wars movies, and I can bake a lot and eat a lot of chocolate. So that's been nice. So why I wanted to do this podcast is that I really, like my two beautiful friends, I also needed an outlet. I'm in a lockdown. I'm a little bit bored. I'm looking for new projects to work on. And I've also been on a pretty big healing / kind of spiritual journey in the last couple of years. And I really wanted to take an opportunity to share my experiences quite openly with people and hopefully help them along their journeys as well.
Love that.
That sounds amazing, man.
So beautiful. So nice. Well, I guess maybe we should just get straight into Lockdown Lowdown because, we want to talk about what's going on. How's everybody's week been?
Yeah, my week's been all right. I split my time between caring for my baby, toiling in the fields and seeing clients, and also doing a bit of writing. So it's been all right. What about you, Larissa?
Yeah, mine's been okay. I've been doing lots of walking, catching Pokemon. Big shout out to Lana for making me get addicted to that again. And just we've been watching Star Wars from like the beginning to the end, all the movies and the TV shows, and we've been like camping out in the lounge room on the mattress. It's been very cute.
I love that. That's
Nice.
cute. We've also been watching Star Wars like over the last like week or so. It's been super fun, really nice. But this week, something horrific happened to me, and I want to share it with you guys.
God, what was it?
My hair fell out from radiation.
Fuck.
Yeah, they told me it wasn't going to happen. When I got radiation after my brain surgery, they were like, nah, gal, it's not going to happen. It's such a low dose of radio. You're going to be fine. And I was like, great, awesome. Never mind that I'd gotten a very high maintenance do right before the second lockdown as a treat for getting through brain surgery. My mum, who is a hairdresser, cut and coloured this very beautiful pink two-toned mullet, loved it, was living the dream. And then I had chemo last Friday and immunotherapy, which, you know, super chill. It happens every 3 weeks, not a big deal. But one of the side effects of chemo is that it does like weaken your hair by a lot. So much so that 2 days later, all my hair fell out where I got radiation.
Oh, fucking hell. What are you going to do? Are you going to like go super short, or would you like a beanie? I can crochet you a beanie.
That would actually be.
You have to.
I love that. Yeah, I would really.
You have to.
Yeah, okay.
So this is what I did. I took a few days to like literally just grieve, because anyone that knows me knows how important my hair is to me. It's like a core part of my identity. And then
I think that's totally understandable. Like chicks and hair, man. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. Dudes wouldn't understand.
Totally. And it's hard too, because you have all these like wild emotions. You feel like very upset and sad that this is happening, but then there's also another part of your brain, like for me, it's the Capricorn part of my brain that's like, look, people lose all their hair when they have cancer. You should be so lucky. But that doesn't really help you with processing how you're feeling about anything by like, I don't know, being ashamed of like being upset about your hair.
Yeah, don't be harsh on yourself.
Exactly. I've just got to like we were talking about like recently, you've got to like feel your feelings, otherwise they just don't go anywhere. And so I've been going through that process, but Jesus Christ, it has been so difficult. And I woke up this morning and I just was like, holy shit, life goes on, man. Not a big deal. I'm more than just my beautiful, beautiful hair. And you know what? I can't believe that that's true. It's huge. It's quite the revelation for me.
And it will totally like grow back stronger than ever. And
I know.
It might grow back curly. You could be like me.
Could you?
Yeah.
How weird would that be?
It would actually be wild, because it's only in some parts. So I'd be like super curly, like right down the part in the middle, which is right where I got my radiation. And the rest would just be like straight as.
Yeah.
Lana, you'll be like so happy to know that when I told my boyfriend about this, he was so upset that he said that he was going to shave the same part of his head to go out in solidarity with you.
Oh my God, that is
my God.
sweet.
He was furious.
So nice. Oh my God. Yeah, it's been such a like insane week, but I do feel like at the beginning of the week, I was all about trying to cover it up. And I just felt like a really like hideous person. But now I'm kind of like, it's a non-issue, and I don't want to comb it over or try and hide it, because I don't want it to have like power over me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, that's kind of just been what's going on with me this week. And
What a week.
yeah,
Jesus.
my mum said to me last night on the phone, because we're in lockdown, obviously, like I can't just go to the hairdresser and get like a fresh new cut or anything like that. I've got a month of like fucking hell ahead of me hair wise. But my mum is a hairdresser, so we videoed last night, and she was just like, look, I'm going to send you some stuff to help it grow, but please don't like shave it all off. You'll regret it. I'm sure I'll be able to teach Mitch how to cut something in. So please stand by for my boyfriend learning to become a hairdresser and trialing his hair cutting skills on my hair.
I think you'll love that.
Yeah, fully. But yeah, it's fucking crazy. So crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. In other news though, We've got some great news this week. The numbers are coming down and continue to come down. It's pretty good to see. What do you guys think?
Happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You see, like, it's so wild. Like, I really try and, like, avoid the news sometimes as well, because you just see, like, the fear machine that is the media just being like, you know, numbers coming down, but death still rising, you know, Victoria's deadly day. And I'm like, my God, how do they get away with even using this, like, volatile and inflammatory language? Just, like, blows my mind.
Oh, my God. The media, the media have handled the whole Victorian situation is so disappointing to me, just because if you're a Victorian, you're already, like, going through it. You don't need to be like, what's the word? What is the word? You know when they, like, hype you up?
Yeah.
And they get you all, like, whipped up into a friend. You don't need that. Like, we need to, like, band together right now. Not.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah. And it really is just, it's fear-based, and it's making people's fear continue to grow. And that's just, you can't operate out of fear in times like this.
No, you can't.
So are you guys excited for stage 3? What's the first thing you're going to do when the restrictions lift?
I'm going to go further than 5 kilometers from my fucking house.
I think I'm going to go camping.
Yeah, I'm probably going to come with you.
Yeah, fully. How nice will it be to just, like, be around your friends, to touch each other? Oh, my God. Yeah. Although, like, obviously,
are we allowed to touch with stage 3?
I was literally just about to say, I'm like, we can't. I don't think we can do that. And also,
no, they're still advising against hugging and holding hands and all of that stuff.
Yeah, word. I suppose. Look, I'm like a big hugger, so it's already hard enough for me. But, like, seeing your friends and not being able to, like, hug them. Obviously, it's a strange new world that we live in. But, like, I really want to. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
I think the first thing I will do is probably record this podcast with you guys in the same room.
Oh, my God. I actually cannot wait for that. That
would be really nice.
Yeah.
The world is not ready.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Well, I guess I should probably talk a little bit, if you guys want, about the borders, because all three of us aren't from Victoria, right? So, like, I'm from Sydney, and Larissa, you're from New South Wales, from Sydney, and Brisbane and Perth, and Lana, you're from Brisbane, and you have family in regional Victoria. So all of us are kind of really hemmed in by these restrictions and the hard borders around metropolitan Melbourne.
Okay.
And, you know, in my case, for instance, my family haven't met my child. My dad and my sister haven't met my baby. You know, my daughter Arwen turned 6 months old the other day, and it's just been video conferencing. And I'm not really able to leave the state to take her to them. They can't come to me. And it's shit. Lana, I imagine in your situation, it's worse. And Larissa, you're, like, so close to your family. You need to see them all the time anyway. I'm imagining that that's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's so difficult at the moment. Like, not going to lie, like, last night when I was on the phone to Mum, Ari, my hair, she was like, oh, should we come down? But, like, obviously I was like, no, don't worry about it. But, like, not being able to see them until Christmas or, like, who knows when, so hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
My family's really quite stressed about Christmas. I've never had Christmas here in Victoria on my own. I've always gone to Brisbane to my dad or to Perth to my mum and my sisters. So the thought of being here is a little bit daunting for everyone, I think. So I'm hoping that we get some clarity around Christmas in the next couple of months, because if I have to drive, I will drive there.
Oh, my God. Victoria to Perth, wild stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I would definitely drive. I would love to do the Nullarbor anyway.
That would be lovely.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could really go, like, a drive to Sydney or a drive to Nimbin where my mum lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the thought of having to wait 2 weeks in a shitty hotel sex dungeon in order to see my family, or vice versa. But, you know, it's getting to the stage now where it's like, yeah, I'd totally do that right now if I had to.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And worst case scenario, if all of the borders are closed in Victoria, like, my plan is hopefully we can still get an Airbnb and just get a little bit lit together, because we're all stuck here anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
God, that'd be
love.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be so, so nice, especially like down Great Ocean Road or somewhere like real lush and beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
so, so nice. Yeah.
So good.
I know what you mean though. Like it just everything feels a little bit harder, especially when you go on social media. And obviously we all have lots, like our feed is full of people in Queensland, WA, like New South Wales, and everyone is just living it up. Like there's just no.
Yeah, I tried to call my sister last Sunday and she didn't answer, and she's in Perth, and she just responded with a text saying, "Can't talk, I'm at the pub." And I sent her the most abusive text message back. I was like, how could you be so insensitive? I lit up at her, and she called me immediately. She's like, dude. And I was like, I'm kidding. It's fine. It's okay.
But it's also not fine. Like
it's not fine. I want to have a beer at a pub on a Sunday.
Fully. Like I actually literally yesterday morning at I don't know, when do I get out of bed? 9 a.m. I was in bed having a coffee with my partner Mitch, and I was just like, I want to go to the pub now. I want a pub meal now. I want some beers now. It's just
so
too
crazy.
hard. Yeah, it's wild. And we've only just passed halfway yesterday, right?
Yeah, I guess we have. I mean, it's shit that this has happened to Victoria versus the other states, but we really have passed the halfway mark, and the cases are coming down.
True.
Yeah.
It's going to make that first pint so sweet when you're at the pub. I'm heading straight to the Spread Eagle.
Yeah, the Spread Eagle. Yeah, sorry. I'm so excited about the Spread Eagle.
The what?
The Spread Eagle Hotel in Richmond. It's the best.
I've never been there.
What?
I've never been there. I'm
so good.
I'm sorry.
We're taking you there.
Please do.
It's just a classic, old Victorian pub. There's no pretense. Everyone there is an old man that's down on their luck from gambling too hard.
Oh, I love it.
And they've got a beautiful outdoor area. The beers are always great. It's a good vibe.
Oh, sick.
It is a good vibe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we should all definitely go there as soon as this lockdown is over.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a sunny day. That first beer is going to be so sweet.
Oh, I can't wait to be drunk and pretty. Do you know what I mean? Just fake laughter.
I just can't wait to be drunk in the sun. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Fully. Oh my God, so exciting. It's going to be a tough time, but we're definitely going to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will, guys. Absolutely.
Fully. Let's take a quick break and then get into Astrolotea.
Sounds good to me. Hello, welcome to Astrolotea. I'm Matt Dragonstone, your friendly host. In this segment, what we do is we talk about some transits that are coming up over the next week or so and how they're likely to impact your lives. So are we ready to get into it?
Yes, so ready. Born ready.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. Okay, cool.
So just really quickly, essentially, how a transit works, just in case you're new to astrology and you don't know, when two planets are moving around, if they hit a certain degree, that can be representative of a relationship, right?
Perfectly correct. Yeah, absolutely. Originally there was a big explosion and the universe came into being, and over many billions of years, that's basically it, right? So we talk about transits in terms of separation and relationships between planets. Mm-hmm. And astrologers tend to believe that if two planets are separated by a certain amount of distance, then, that becomes significant. Mm. And that means that certain things might happen here on Earth.
Yeah. So
in a nutshell.
So there are different types of aspects, which is the special term for these relationships, right? And
yeah, that's right.
A trine is a really harmonious relationship, which is what's coming up with the Sun and Uranus. And it's didn't you say it was lucky? It can be lucky?
Yeah, it's really harmonious. When we talk about trines, we talk about two planets making a separation of about 120 degrees, which if you divide a circle, which is how we think about astrology, into three parts, they're all about 120 degrees separated. So in a nutshell, right, it's something that's very harmonious. It means that the two energies involved get along very well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And those two energies can combine in a way that's really quite sort of on the same wavelength or on the same level is a good way of thinking about it.
Cool. And that's going to happen on the 3rd of September, yeah? So we've got some like good news like coming to us.
Yes. I mean, it all depends on what planets are involved, okay? So the sun, think of the sun as like a representative of the core of who you are. So it's your inner being, it's your soul, it's your ability to reason, and it's your ability to it's the prime mover. So it's the big drive to do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, that's right. And what does Uranus stand for or represent?
So Uranus is a really interesting planet in astrology. So we talk about innovation, we talk about rebellion, we talk about inventiveness when we talk about Uranus. It's unpredictable. It's something that can manifest pretty much in any possible way in your chart. Its only predictable facet is that it's unpredictable by nature, but it's that unpredictability and it's that kind of rebellion against the laws that we normally employ to make assumptions about the future that makes Uranus really unique and interesting. Ordinarily, when Uranus shows up, it's, upsetting, and it's something that kind of revolutionizes things, whether we want them to be revolutionized or not. But with the Sun and Uranus in this beautiful, harmonious relationship, what we have is momentarily on the 3rd of September, your drive to do things. So everyone's kind of, experience of rationality, logic, and drive, motivation, goal setting, and triumph, getting along really well with the planet of innovation, invention, and progressiveness and things like that. So it's a beautiful aspect.
So does this mean that this transit, because Uranus can be quite unpredictable, does that mean that there could be unexpected things happening on that day as well for people?
Yeah, definitely. But when we think about things that are unexpected, they usually come as either a shock or a surprise, like a pleasant surprise. I'm tending to think that around the 3rd of September, people might experience some, you might just have a better chance of experiencing pleasant surprises, pleasantly unexpected things, rather than devastating shocks, which is kind of what we're used to lately.
Yeah, so true. so true. What is the kind of things that people can look out for on that day? So on the Thursday, what type of things would it manifest as? In my mind, the way we've been talking about it, for some reason I can't help it, but I'm like, this is going to be a big political upset.
Yeah.
But then I remember like the sun's
maybe it'll be the day they announce that we're moving into stage 3 in a week's time.
So nice. Yeah.
Because that's kind of 10 days out from when we would be moving out of stage 4. So an announcement could be on that day.
Yeah.
That would be a very pleasant surprise, absolutely, and not something that I'm expecting personally.
Yeah.
I think with the sun, because it moves so quickly and it goes around all the zodiac signs over the course of 12 months, the transits that involve the sun, are usually quite small. They're small scale. They don't really build up for a very long time. And while they are still powerful and effective, they tend to be on the smaller side of things, unless, of course, there's other aspects to the other planets involved. So I don't think there'll be big political upheavals, but I do think that people can generally look forward to feeling a little bit more open for a start, because Uranus is such a open and progressive planet. And then also maybe channeling a bit of that ingenuity into whatever your plans are for the day. So if you've got stuff to do, if you're at work, it's a Thursday for most people. So, you've probably got things that need doing, but you might take a slightly different way or a different route, or you might be a little bit more experimental with trying new things, for instance.
Yeah.
That's what you can look forward to on Thursday.
Well, I guess so. I just wanted something bigger, Well, okay, so what about the following day? So that's when we've got Venus squaring Mars, which is like a totally different kind of aspect. So is this
going to impact relationships? I feel like it's like Venus and Mars, like love and fire.
Yes.
What's going to go down there?
Well, I think that, first of all, a square as opposed to a trine is a little bit more stressful. There's a little bit more energy involved, and the two planets are kind of moving at right angles to one another. So when we talk about squares, we talk about a separation of 90 degrees versus 120 degrees.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of two energies that are trying to move in almost totally different directions at the same time, and they tend to butt heads. Depending on the planets involved, this can be really quite cause for alarm. But with Venus and Mars, this is a really classic example of, sexual tension, and relationship stuff can kind of take on that sort of vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Venus is the planet of love. Mars's symbol is an erect phallus. So you can leave the rest to your imagination. It's a good day to get down, put it that way.
Well, that's what came up in my research too. So Venus represents things like love, like our valuables, like what our values are, like personally, but also what's valuable to us, personal taste, what makes us happy, how we approach relationships, and what we spend our money on, and like also money. And then Mars is like a really masculine planet, which represents our relationship to aggression, sex, action, desire, competition, courage, and passion. So two very different things that are like have a lot in common, like feminine energy and masculine energy. But it did say that it was like a good day to get down. So.
Okay.
Absolutely. When we look at something like a trine, for instance, those two energies would get along quite well and harmoniously. But when we look at a square, we're applying stress and we're applying frustration and blockage and massive amounts of energy, which means that most people tend to act out one of the two planets involved in a square. If you take other planets, then that is a recipe for hard times. But if you take Venus and Mars and you apply that kind of pressure, then God knows what can happen. But most of the time, it's something that's quite enjoyable.
And is it like also relevant for me to like look up where Venus and Mars might be in my chart on that day to see how it might impact me on a more personal level?
What an excellent question. Thanks, Larissa. Yes, it is. It really is. I think with all transits, they don't happen in a vacuum, right? We all have our own natal charts and we all have our own different houses, different parts of our charts where the planets are at any point in time. So if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, you could have a look at your natal chart, see where Venus is, see where Mars is. And, if it's hitting areas of your chart that relate to your own personal relationship, you're going to experience that tension and those effects through that section of your life. Yeah. If it's involving, say, your personality and your career, or, for instance, your home and your relationships, then things might take on a slightly different manifestation, but nonetheless, they'll still have that quality of the butting of feminine and male energies together, regardless of your gender. It's just how you embody those archetypes.
Yeah, fully. I hope it's transiting my 8th house. I'm keen to get freaky.
Nice.
All right, cool. So like on Sunday, we've got Venus entering Leo. What does that mean, Matt?
Well, on the topic of Venus, as a planetary energy, it is more aligned with the feminine end of the gender binary spectrum. Venus speaks to how we luxuriate, how we enjoy ourselves. It's a very sort of pleasure-seeking and pleasure-attracting planetary energy. And if you take that energy and you apply a kind of Leo expression to it, which is how we talk in astrology, we look at the energy and then we look at the sign that planetary energy is manifesting through, then you have a recipe for quite an enjoyable and indulgent couple of weeks that Venus is going to spend transiting through that sign. So if you've got Venus in Leo natally, then you're going to get a little bit of a boost in that area of your life anyway. But if you're sort of a native with your Venus elsewhere, then you're going to probably experience I think everyone's going to experience this actually, just a little bit more kind of self-care, I think is really a good way of thinking about it.
Love self-care.
A little bit more luxury, a little bit more indulgence.
I love luxury.
A little bit more pleasure and a little bit more fun and enjoyment. And surely we can use a little bit more of that in these unprecedented times.
So Sunday, the 6th of September, I'm going to lock in a facial for myself at home. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have a long shower, wash my hair.
Beautiful.
I'm going to do a shitload of online shopping and make a really nice Sunday dinner for myself.
Oh, my God, that sounds like heaven. So
pretty much any time that Venus transits through Leo, it's a fantastic time to get your hair cut.
Ooh.
I'm due for a
Yeah.
haircut, but unfortunately we cannot get haircuts, Matt. Thank you for reminding us.
Is that?
I don't know. I don't have hair, but if I had hair, I'd probably like do a thing at home, put a color in it, put a leave-in conditioner, do something to treat your hair. Leo is the mane. All Leos are vain about their manes, right?
So Venus conditioner is like
1990.
Yeah.
Like pear. What's when they're in the shower and they're like decorate. Sorry.
Incidentally, that was the last time I had hair, Larissa. So you should forgive me.
I just wanted to help you out. Also,
no, that's okay.
I love my hair because I have a Leo moon. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Love that for you.
So what a week, right? It's actually quite a good news week, I think. You know, Sun trine Uranus on the 3rd of September, Venus square Mars on the 4th, which is a Friday, which is traditionally Venus's day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, on the Sunday, which is the day of the Sun, which rules Leo, Venus enters Leo. So it's actually, I'm predicting a good week.
So it's like excellent surprise, fantastic sex, self-care, joy.
Oh my God, I can't fucking wait for this week.
Tell me about it. But that's my astrology for this week, guys.
Can we, before we like wrap up the segment, I would just love to talk about the fact that we're moving out of Leo, or we've moved out of Leo and into Virgo. I would love to just talk about it and have a conversation around what energy we might be experiencing, because Leo and Virgo are quite different.
So different, for sure. Like Leo is, okay, so this is how I know astrology is real.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey is a fucking Leo.
So is Kylie Jenner.
It's incredible. So is Madonna.
Yeah.
Like, it's like so many fucking divas are Leos, which is totally fair. All Leos I know are fucking divas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
I love that.
Beyonce is a Virgo. She is like absolutely like what a Virgo can achieve.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're really like
they're just hard workers, right?
They're very
Bernie Sanders is a Virgo.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. Oh my God.
My mum and one of my sisters are Virgos.
Yeah.
Both like very hardworking, but also the martyrs of the family.
Absolutely.
Like, I will fall on my sword for you, but you will really hear about it.
Absolutely.
I'm like, God damn it.
That's so funny. There's lots of like really beautiful attributes about Virgos.
I mean, you know, Virgos are really beautiful people. I love Virgos, and that's not just because I'm an earth sign. Natally, I like Virgos because there's such a stunning awareness and detail-oriented nature to them, which begins first and foremost with themselves when they're young. So most Virgos become painfully aware of their own shortcomings when they're very young, and to compensate for that crushing awareness of their own imperfection, they seek to make the world perfect. So they're very helpful.
Evolved Virgos are heaven.
Evolved Virgos are Beyonce.
Yeah, absolutely. And my old manager, when I like back when I was working, almost a year ago, she's incredible.
Yeah.
So caring, considerate, like can do so much in a quarter of the time anybody else can.
Yeah.
Like truly a Beyonce of like my old job. So great. But
I feel like the journey of an unevolved Virgo is quite difficult. Like if you have that, you know, that crushing self-awareness coming in as a child and then seeking perfection, and perfection doesn't exist. Everything is already perfect in my opinion. So that I can't imagine having to live like that.
Yeah. Also, I do feel like somebody who could like really benefit from self-care is Virgos. Just be nicer to yourself. Stop gaslighting yourself all the time. I know that when I found out that I gaslight myself, which was a very recent like learning for me, I was so shook. I shared it with everyone. There was this little like Instagram post and it was like, do you gaslight yourself? And it gave you examples and I was like, this is how my brain works. Okay, we're going to share it on the Instagram so other people can see it. And like Virgos, please read it. Yeah. Please read it, digest it, leave a comment. What do you think? I want to know. Yeah. Anyway, what else were you saying, Matt?
What? No, that's it. I think that's a really good discussion of Virgo. My mother is a Virgo and several of my ex-girlfriends are Virgos. I don't have a problem with Virgos.
They weren't Scorpios?
Yeah. Wild stuff.
Wow.
God.
they don't have the best reputations in the zodiac. It's typically Virgos and Scorpios that cop all the shit.
Yeah.
For being terrible.
Excuse me, Gemini's cop it the most. Thank you very much.
People fucking hate gems, and I don't get it because gems are rad.
I literally, before I came into it, like before I started learning about astrology, all I knew was I'm a Gemini and I fucking love it. And I was like, and everyone loves me, so they must love Geminis.
That's so good.
And then Matt read my chart for me, and I was just like, okay, cool, this is great, blah, blah, blah. And I can't remember if it was you, Matt, but that's when I started going like balls deep into Astro.
Yeah.
I started following all these accounts, and everyone was just like, fuck Geminis. Yeah. They're fucked. What's wrong with them? They're liars.
The Woman's Weekly, like Gemini is just like two-faced.
Yeah.
The twin, you can't trust either of them.
Yeah.
But like real gems are like not like that at all. Like like the greatest person you could possibly be around because they just make you feel fucking good about yourself.
It's true.
Whenever I want to know what's going on right this very second, I ask a Gemini.
Exactly.
You guys are just hardwired in. You're like walking Twitters. You have the latest.
Lana is Twitter.
Yes.
To me, anyway.
Can I tell you as well? I have such a lurker gross account. I think I have 2 followers. I follow like 200 people. There's a photo of me looking insane on the toilet. And I literally, no one ever replies to my comments. And I comment a lot. I'm always giving my
creep.
I'm like a full on Twitter creep.
I love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
you know everything. Like you're across everything.
It's true. I do only have it for Drag Race drama though, which I think is our entire world.
It is mine.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be a Gemini. It's a beautiful thing to be a Virgo. It's a beautiful thing to be a Scorpio. All 3 of those signs have a friend in Matt Dragonstone. DragonstoneInsights.com.
Oh my God, shameless.
Oh, I love that.
Shameless. You've got to be shameless, guys. There's a pandemic on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair.
Oof. Well,
I think that's the tea, guys.
Yeah, did you want to wrap us up, Matt?
Sure. That's it. Thank you so much for listening.
Matt, you need to say these words. Sis, that's the tea.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sis, that's the tea.
Sis, that's the tea.
Love it. Oh my God. So,
Great.
Should we take a quick break?
Let's.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our next segment that we are getting into now, and this segment is called Our Unprecedented Times. It's actually called These Unprecedented Times, but I am unpredictable. I'm very sorry.
That's so good.
Okay, so in this little segment, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to pull a card each. Because Matt is a little bit psychic, Lana is a little bit psychic, I am a little, we're all a little bit psychic. So what we're going to do is pull some cards and talk about their meanings and then just maybe apply them to the next couple of weeks so we can have a conversation about some of the energy that might be around for people and what we think might be coming your way. So we've got Matt who's actually going to pull a tarot card, and Lana and I are actually going to pull, we're working with some dream oracle cards, which is really cool. So just stay with us if you're not down with this tarot card stuff. Just stick with us. I promise you it's going to pay off because this stuff is really fun. If you don't take it seriously and you stop thinking about witches in like stupid candle shops with crystal balls and bad hair and big noses, if you don't think about that for a second and the perception that society has put onto this stuff is fun. I recommend getting a deck of cards and playing around with it and having a good time because life's too short to be weird and judgmental. So, Matt, I'm going to hand over to you and you can pull your first card and let's see what comes up for people in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I've just pulled a card and it's the Hierophant. It's number 5 in the Major Arcana. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's the only one I've used and I've been doing readings for people professionally for about 20 years.
I think it's my personal favorite as well.
What's it called again? Sorry?
The Rider-Waite Tarot deck.
Oh, yeah.
It's the like classic original one that you'll see around.
Yeah.
It is. It's got gorgeous illustrations from Pamela Coleman Smith, who had more of a hand to play in the creation of the deck than people give her credit for. So most people refer to it as the Rider-Waite Smith deck. And it's probably something I should start doing as well. But the card that I pulled is number 5 from the Major Arcana. It's the Hierophant. And for those watching on this wonderful visual medium of an audio podcast, it's got a priestly figure seated on a throne between 2 pillars with 2 subordinates at his feet, 2 cross keys. In his left hand, he holds a scepter, and his right hand is pointing upwards in a pontifical motion. It's a very, very intense card.
It is an intense card.
We're going to post these cards on the Insta as well, right?
Totally.
After this.
We're going to post everything on the Insta.
Excellent. Fab. Please continue.
Well, I suppose when I look at the card and I think about what's happening in the next few weeks, I feel that the card's traditional significations are about initiation. And they're about, I suppose a modern word would be ascension in many respects. But I think about quarantine and I think about the pandemic, not just in Victoria, but for most of the world. We've had enough time since this shitstorm started at the beginning of the year to understand new ways of being, new ways of working. And I feel that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to see the proper dawn of the post-COVID era. Now, what does that mean? It means that we need to step up in some way to cope with the new landscape that we find ourselves in. And for me, that's what's signified by the Hierophant. It's like receiving the keys to a new environment or a new way of thinking and being initiated into post-COVID Earth. That's my take on it. I'm really keen to hear what you guys have to say, though.
Is it kind of like we're going to get to that point, we're going to be like, okay, so we need to stop talking about going back to normal because we're not going back to normal. Like,
yep.
And it takes people a hot minute to kind of wrap their head around what that means. And I do think that when you're in a situation, so like when life gives you lemons, you either choose to like accept the lemon and make lemonade, or you choose to like not accept the lemon and just,
let them rot.
Yeah, let them rot, go to Bunnings, harass the staff there, whatever it is you would like to do, but just not accept the situation and just not be open to change. And I think quite a few people have done that in this whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
I know.
Change is hard, and it's really
so hard.
It's such a personal thing. I'm a change manager, so professionally I know how hard change is for people. But I think Matt's card's really interesting because I really do think that it talks to the sun transiting through Uranus, which we were just talking about before, and about that kind of new beginnings and surprises coming our way. I think that I feel like we're on the dawn of a new type of world that we're all going to be living in together. And I think if you strip away the uncertainty of that it can be really exciting.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, it's a great take on it.
Love it. Okay, so we're going to pull one card each.
Yeah, let's pull a card each. You can hear me shuffling for those ASMR people in the world.
Beautiful.
I'm vibing youth. I love that. Oh, no. I'm a Pisces and you will not believe the card I just pulled.
What did you pull?
This is so good.
Okay, wait, let me pull that.
Oh, my God. I love this shit. Look at this. I love it.
Yes. Oh, my God. That's
no.
freaking wild.
I hope that's not for me.
I got a really good one too.
Great. So... I'm laughing really hard because the card I just pulled, without even like looking at the description in Lana's little book, it's so funny. Lana and I have just pulled cards that I think are really like relevant to ourselves personally. So my card, we're using the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle cards, and I've just pulled one that is number 28, and it is called The Ocean of Emotion.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
So this card looks like...
It's beautiful.
It's really beautiful. It literally looks like the bottom of the ocean. Like it's just all different types of blues. Really beautiful. And it says, find a safe place to express your true feelings. Obviously for Larissa.
Fish. I dream every night. I can't help it. I wake up to my alarm integrating into my dream. Like I fall asleep dreaming. I dream during the day. Like it's all I do. So it's interesting. So this card is really, this card's about the ocean and about your own inner mystery and your own kind of internal emotions, being that we're made of 70% water. The moon controls the ocean. It's all kind of connected in that way. And this is obviously about feminine energy as well. So I feel like there's that connection here to the Venus and Mars stuff that we were talking about earlier. And I actually do, when I look at this card and I think about an ocean of emotion, I really do think that it talks to the Hierophant and what we were just talking about as well, because I feel like that's the climate at the moment. We can't avoid the fact that people are going to be emotional about the world that we're living in today, because it is really unprecedented and unexpected, and it's scary for a lot of people. So I think that finding...
It's so fluid. So much of life is literally, especially if you're living in Victoria like us, you literally... wait to hear the press conference every day.
And to see if Jeff Andrews is wearing a suit or a Northwest puffer jacket.
Yeah, fully. It's going to be a good day if he's not in a suit.
Not in a suit. So
if it's the weekend and he's in a suit, it's bad news.
Oh, it's bad.
I think that was
stage 4.
Yeah, that was not a good day.
He came out on a Sunday in a suit and was like, you're going to curfew in 2 hours. We were all like, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta get to Kmart, bro.
Fully. Oh my God.
So I think this is interesting because this card's really about finding a safe place to express how you're feeling at the moment and being okay about expressing how you're feeling and feeling free of judgment. And I think people forget sometimes that you have to feel it in order to heal it. So if you're feeling some type of way, just fucking go with it. Cry, listen to music, eat a cake. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment. You need to just create a safe space within yourself to feel everything that you're feeling right now.
Absolutely. And I feel like as well with your emotions, it literally says an ocean of emotion. We're going through so much emotion at the moment. And if you don't acknowledge how the stress of COVID is hitting you 6 months on, and it's getting a little bit better, but we've gone through a lot to get to this point.
Yeah.
You need to do something to be this is a shitty year, and look after yourself.
Yeah, always look after yourself. You have to put
always.
I always think of being on an aeroplane and they tell you to put the mask on yourself before anyone else. Just apply that in literally everything you fucking do and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really. You can't do fucking shit.
Yeah. If you can't breathe.
Yeah, exactly. So true. Okay, so I've got number 46 and it's Be Reborn Daily. It is a really beautiful card. So it's a man that looks like Jesus. He has a great hairdo, to be honest. He's got, it looks a little Carol Brady, and he's got a lovely little jacket on. He's sitting down. He looks like he's namasteing, which is very nice. It looks like he's just on a yoga workout. There's lots of different colors. So there's blues, yellows, reds, and the little message that goes with it is let go of the past and breathe in your new incarnation.
Whoa.
And this is about resurrection, and essentially it's actually a really cool card. So it's really connected to the 2 cards that we've already had. So in every moment you can begin anew. With this next breath, know that you are wiping the slate clean and releasing any baggage that you've been carrying thus far because you no longer need it. Exhale the past completely, and if you inhale, open yourself up to a new vista, a whole new incarnation, and a whole new story of who you are and why you are here. You selected this card on this day in this moment to remind yourself that you are always at a crossroads, just like Brittany. There is always a choice. A reset button is in your hand. What new story would you like to tell? And who will you be today? God, this fucking speaks to a Gemini. Holy shit. What if the entire world is conspiring for your greatest good? What might happen if you choose to see everything as a blessing? So the mantra that goes with this one is, I open my heart and let myself be reborn daily so I may revel in a new, improved, lighter and brighter version of myself and who I am, which is so beautiful. And I also think a really nice way to, I guess, it's kind of like a journey, right?
Yeah.
So Matt, your card was all about we're about to go through a lot of like even more change because the dawn of like a new era is coming. And then Larissa's card was like, but we've also gone through a fucking wild time.
Yeah,
we have
emotion.
we have an ocean of emotion, and you need to acknowledge that and do what you need to do to, keep going and to move forward and to process what is happening. And then be reborn daily, which is let's walk into this new era with a really positive and different outlook. And I really love the line that says, what if the entire world was conspiring for your greatest good?
Yeah.
I have fully had so many moments since I got brain cancer where I've been like, yeah, this real shit, so unfair, blah, blah, blah. But the flip side of that is it's like I'm so happy to be here. Like we can overcome so much, and like looking for the blessings every day, they're all around us all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. And it's about having the eyes to see them. Your story is particularly inspirational, Lana, because of the extremity to which you went. Outside of, the revelations that you've had, you've been on the extreme edge of life and death, and you've come back with this amazing ability to just spot blessings and just spot the good stuff. And it is a choice, it's a choice to focus on the positive versus the negative. And you're so good at it, Lana.
You're so good at it.
Oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
I'm really bad at it. You're so good at it.
Well, I wish I did.
I'm the fucking worst at it. I just want to...
Yeah, exactly. Fuck.
But
yeah, man.
What about an evolved Gemini?
Oh, fully. Let me tell you though, it's acknowledging your feelings. So like basically the things that we've been talking about. Yeah, absolutely.
If you carry around all of your feelings inside of you every day and ignore them, you're never going to get to a place where you can accept the stuff that's coming up, good or bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also as well, as we're sort of like moving through all this stuff, if you're finding that you're not handling it very well, or if it's too much, working out what your strategies are to cope with how you're feeling.
Totally.
Like you can't get to like fucking 30 and not know enough about like, do you know what I mean? You need to know who you are and choose and make a choice. Who do I want to be in this moment?
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to do that, just fucking pretend, and no one will know the difference.
Totally. Everyone is fighting the same shit you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
What's your number one strategy for coping when you're having an emotional breakdown?
It's hard because I do like so many things.
Yeah.
Because I hate feeling bad.
What's the first thing you think of, though? The first thing that comes to your mind right now? The best tip you can give someone else?
You have to tell somebody. So you have to know who your people are in your corner and go to them and let someone know how you're feeling because then it forces you to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
If it's too much, though, and you get too emotional, and if, like me, you fucking hate crying, but you know you need to, I'm very sorry that you can't understand that.
Cannot compute.
I'm Cap-rising, okay? Like my little fish moon has a like Gemini sun and a
fighting a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to break through the walls. But like, for example, on Friday morning, I just felt horrible. And I was really sad. I couldn't finish my workout because I was just crying and for no reason. I think I was scared because I'd had a migraine the day before and I was like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
But I just messaged my sisters who are like my support people. I love them. I'll talk to Mitch and just be like, I'm having a really tough day. And then I'll go and journal. And how I journal is a little bit different. I'll write out what the scenario is. So what's happening. Then I will write the feelings. So what are my feelings? And I'll rate them. And then
this is the most Capricorn journaling I've ever had in my life.
I'll make a list and I'll start at the top.
Yeah.
Well, I got this hot tip from my therapist. Okay, so shut the fuck up. It works. And then I will write out what specifically is causing those emotions, and I'll describe them so you can get a little bit of distance. And I just find that to be really helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's also a really great way to manipulate your boyfriend. If he's triggering you, you can be like, this is going in the book, dog.
This is how you make me feel.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. That's a good strategy because when I journal, it's the ramblings of a mad woman who's hysterically crying and can't see properly. So I think journaling is a really good tip. I think that there's a lot of stigma attached to it.
out there, but it's actually one of the best things that you can do to help kind of release yourself.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm really comfortable expressing emotions. I'm lucky enough to have a Leo moon, so I don't give a shit if you see me crying or not. So basically, I think the thing I've learned to do is, I know for me specifically, if I don't just allow my feelings to wash over me, they're never going to go away. I'm going to store them in places in my body, and then they're going to come up years later, and I'm going to have to deal with them on a scale that I did not anticipate. So I find that if I'm feeling a certain type of way in the moment, I will just let it wash over me and experience it there. So I cry a lot in the car. I cry a lot in the shower. I cry a lot I cried when I was working out this week as well, girl. Don't worry about it. I honestly, like, if I don't feel it in that moment and let it happen right then and there, even if I look like a crazy person, I know it's going to fuck me up later. So just get it done.
How do you feel about crying at work?
I had a crying room at my old job.
Wild.
There was literally a room that I used to go to, and I'd take certain people from my team and they'd watch me cry. I'd be like, I'm feeling like this, come with me. And I'd make them come watch me cry. It's not dramatic at all.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I think I cried once at work, and it was literally like incredibly stressful. And I pulled my manager into the room, and like me crying is literally like my voice catching.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I need to be alone. I need to suppress this until I can be alone.
Oh my God.
Like, it was so wild. And literally, as soon as I did that, I was just like, you're at work, girl, pull it together.
No.
But it's refreshing.
People love vulnerability.
They do.
The end.
That's so true.
Show them who you are and they will love you more.
Yeah.
I agree.
How about you, Matt? What's your strategy?
My strategy to deal with an emotional breakdown.
Yes. It's a big question.
Or just when you feel in a certain type of way, you don't have to be at like 15, you know what I mean?
You can be at 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I think the most important thing that I can bring to this discussion from my perspective as a man is to forgive yourself for feeling upset. Quite often, particularly men are enculturated to, feel bad about feeling bad.
Yeah.
To feel bad about feeling sad or to, show emotion, even crying.
Manly enough. You're not a bloke if you cry.
Toxic masculinity.
Such bullshit.
Yeah. So the first and most important, and in most cases the most difficult step for men, is to not feel bad about having emotions to begin with or showing them. It's something that some men take a lifetime to learn, right? But I think for younger dudes and for older dudes who are more sort of along the journey of self-discovery, it's one of the most common things that I hear from people, from other men who talk to me about their emotions, is that once you learn to stop feeling bad about having them and to get in touch with them and to express them in a way that's comfortable, then you're far more open and you're far more able to see multiple sides of a story or multiple sides to a situation, and you're able to negotiate better. And to put it back into masculine, terms, you're more effective.
Yeah.
You're able to get things done better if you have a fuller picture of who you are in any moment.
And because you're no longer a victim either.
Yeah.
That's right.
That lens is lifted.
That's so true. Like, if I'm suppressing how I'm feeling, I literally cannot understand what the other person is feeling.
Yeah, you're just like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We just don't live in a time anymore when you can operate for any part of the day or in any situation without bringing your emotions along with you.
I agree.
That's the most important thing to remember, I think.
I think it's so important for the human experience is to just have feelings. I feel lucky that I'm able to have the wide range of emotions that I do, and I know how to express all of them. So,
yeah, fully. Yeah. I would much rather be a diva any day of the week
and being a
feel
diva.
all those like messy feelings than to like go through life like a robot, because like you will absolutely regret it at the end of your life. You'll be like, I felt nothing.
Yeah.
And I just have all this trauma and all this baggage from not letting myself feel and grow.
Completely.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really good, guys.
That was so nice.
That was so nice. What a nice way to end the show.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll wrap there because I feel like that was a really, really positive and lovely note to end things on. So that's all we're going to wrap up now. That's all we got. So thank you so much for joining us for our first ever episode of StarHoes and listening to us rant, particularly me, Matt also. We all like to rant, like who am I kidding? I think we've all had a good
Love a rant.
A lot of ranting.
Love it.
You'll learn to love it though, so do join us again. We're going to be dropping. I promise you'll learn to love us. There's going to be new episodes dropping every Monday, so you can subscribe on Apple or follow us on Spotify so you don't miss an episode when they are out. We've also got an Instagram that you can follow. It's @HelloStarHoes. And if you did enjoy listening to us rant about the stars and our feelings and tarot and spirituality and woke shit, then please, we'd love for you to leave us a review as well. So I guess that's it. Don't forget to wear a mask, wash your hands, look after each other, be kind, have a cry if you need to.
Oh, I love that.
And that's it. That's all we got.
Love
Thanks,
it,
guys.
cry baby.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.